Welcome back to the big show. I had to lick my wounds from that loss on the Initials game and take my body out here to the patio. We're so excited to continue our favorite series. It's our 12 days of grilling today.
We are on day 5, so the end of the first week, and we're rounding it out by taking the fear out of grilling steak.
It is kind of a fearful thing. I don't know why it is, but it just is. So John Van House with Core Food Service and the Minnesota Beef Council is here with his tips. Always good to see you.
John, how are you?
I don't know if you had a chance to kind of play along. Did you play along with the Initials?
I tried, but I had to keep going to the grill.
Yeah,
I can't pay attention.
That's a good excuse. I wish I had that excuse to be like, I only got one.
I use it at home all the time. I got to get to the grill. I'm sorry.
I feel you on that. Okay, so why is it, do you think, that people feel like grilling a steak is difficult, or they should be intimidated by it?
I don't think anyone should be intimidated by it. I think that, a price tag has something to do with it. Somebody doesn't want to spend money and then not be happy with the results. But at the same time, it's experience.
Yeah.
If you haven't experienced it repetitively and continuously, you're not going to build up the confidence, right?
Yeah.
Just like everything, practice makes perfect. So I just want to make sure that people understand one of the reasons that filet mignon, New York strip, and ribeye are so expensive is because they're so easy to cook.
Oh, really?
Well, the saying living high on the hog has to do with just that. The higher you are on the animal, the more tender the muscle.
Right.
The more tender the muscle, the less collagen that's there, the less time it takes to cook. So you can use high heat cooking methods for small amounts of time.
Yeah.
I mean, the filet that we cooked took about 15 to 16 minutes. The New York strip only took about 10.
Is that right? So how do you feel about this whole, there is this kind of whole wave about doing the reverse sear thing, and then you're kind of like searing it, but then almost like convection baking it off the grates for a much longer period of time.
Well, it all depends on your comfort level, right? Reverse sear is a great method. It can be very exacting. Sous vide is another technique that chefs will use to get their meats to a consistent temperature and then sear them to get that good Maillard caramelization.
Yeah.
That's what caramelization does. That's only produced with high heat. For me, if I'm using a really good steak, I don't want to have to take a lot of steps.
Right.
So for me, it's easiest just to use the highest heat I can and cook the steak, but monitor it to make sure it's not overcooking or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
It's basic.
In my household, when the kids know that it's steak night, like they want the steak right then and there.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to wait 45 minutes for me to like reverse sear it, stick it in the oven, let it rest for 20 minutes. Like they want it. So I am normally a high heat person. So I'm glad to hear you said that. That's kind of your tried and true method.
Yeah, and I mean it's all the steaks that you see at the butcher shop, the New York strips, the ribeyes, the fillets, the sirloins, even the Terrace Major shoulder muscles. Those are all very tender, and you can grill them easily.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Okay, perfect.
Really,
so what kind of cuts do you have here? What can you tell us about
So
these?
we have about a 10-ounce filet mignon, and we have about a 16-ounce New York strip here. Okay. They're that big because when you deal with high heat, I want to get good caramelization. You can see the dark sears on the steak, right?
Yep.
That's from high heat and the right amount of time. Well, if I have high heat and a thin steak, it's going to overcook before I get that caramelization.
Right.
So if you get a good thick steak, you can use really high heat. This grill was up to about 700 degrees at one point when I was grilling these.
No
things.
kidding.
All the way up.
So when you start your grill, whether it's a pellet grill, a gas grill, a green egg, or whatever, just get it as hot as you possibly can, and don't be
within
scared about
reason. I mean, you don't want a glowing red like 1500 degrees.
Yeah.
That can get
Yeah,
intense.
you're not like a pizza oven.
But as comfortable as you are with the heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 600, 700, 800 is okay.
It's
And then
okay.
what are you doing to prepare it before you put it on the grill?
So all I did was salt and pepper.
That's it.
Just salt and pepper, and right before it went on the grill, I didn't do anything else to it because I like the taste of beef.
I agree.
So I want to taste it, and if you marinate it or have it sitting in a dry rub or something like that for too long, it's just going to end up curing the meat.
Right.
So you're going to end up having like sausage more or less as far as a texture and a flavor profile.
Yeah. How do you feel about? I've also heard this method of getting the steak out of the fridge or making it get to room temperature before you put it on the grill. Does it change the profile of the meat at all?
So it does bloom the meat, so you can taste more of the beef easier, and it cuts down on the cooking time, honestly. A warm steak's going to take less time to cook than a cold one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you do kind of believe in that strategy.
I do. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna cook at home and you're gonna grill, you might as well pull your steaks out of the oven, start your grill, make your salad, get your sides all buttoned up, ready to go. Go out, grill your steaks, come back in, let them sit, finish your bread, finish tossing your salad, have everyone sit at the table, you're ready to eat.
Okay, so then real quick, high heat on the grill. How long are you doing each side?
So 3 to 4 minutes, and I do cross hashing, so I rotate them. So literally, I'll take the steak, and that's what creates those nice cross hashes is by turning it 45 degrees to 60 degrees. 3 to 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes flip, 3 to 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. That's about it.
Okay.
Really, it's about the internal temperature of the steak, though. I think I provided them the recipe, but I like to pull my steaks off at about 125. That's rare.
Yeah.
But it's going to carry over cook about 5 degrees because of the intensity of the outside of the heat of the steak. So 130 is like medium rare.
Yeah.
And that's how I like it.
Yeah.
So about 10, 12 minutes.
10 or 12 minutes. You flipped it only once. You're going to take it off and let it rest, and that resting period is
15
important.
minutes. It's extremely important. It's critical.
Yeah.
You gotta
And what
let
does
your
that do to the
proteins
meat
rest.
inside then?
So think of it as like if you're squeezing a sponge.
Yeah.
When you're cooking the steak, you're squeezing the sponge. So all of that juice is starting to come out. As soon as you stop cooking it, the proteins relax, and that sponge starts to suck up the moisture again. So if you allow the amino acids, which are shaped like springs, when they're compressed, they're squeezing out. But when they relax and they're not under that heat anymore, they do the reverse and they suck up that juice again. So then you'll have a juicy steak.
Because I've also wondered, like when I let it rest, I'm getting a lot of the juices out on the plate or my platter, and I'm like, no, that's the good stuff. I don't want that to go anywhere.
That is the
But it's
good
okay
stuff.
because internally it's still sucking up that moisture, right?
It is. And then the best part is when you I finished these steaks with a little bit of butter when they were resting because butter makes everything a little bit better.
Butter makes everything better.
But then I like to pour it on the top at the end. You might as well, right? My grandma used to suck this stuff up with bread. That was her favorite part of the meal, was the juices from the steak.
You guys, it's fantastic. I approve of this method because this is what I do at home too. No fancy crust, no fancy things on top. It's just good salt, good pepper, and that's it.
Yep.
This is the closest I've ever felt to being an adult man, and I said nothing for the last 5 minutes. But this is very manly.
Yeah, you did a great job.
I did a great job.
Thank
Always
you,
good to
guys.
Thanks,
see
John.
you.
Appreciate it, man.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it. All right, you guys want to try this recipe? I know you're going to. Just go to our website, twincitieslive.com/recipes. That's where you're going to find all of these recipes, including this one. A big thank you to the Minnesota Beef Council as well for presenting our 12 Days of Grilling series. Check this out. On Monday, our 12 Days of Grilling series continues. We're going to be continuing the basics, and we're going to be learning how to make tomahawk pork chops.